Hello, guys. Welcome to Theme Park Wizards. Today we have a collaboration with OrangeGrove55 on Galaxy's Edge, D23, and a cool new Spider-Man rumor.
Thanks for having me, Theme Park Wizard. It's always fun.
Agreed. So, Galaxy's Edge, you had a great experience as you saw on check out some of his videos, guys. He has talks about all about Galaxy's Edge, and also on the we just did a podcast. We talked about Galaxy's Edge. Now, what do you think the first expansion is gonna be?
The first expansion. Well, I think that if I'm not mistaken, there's an expansion pad over there, kind of in between the Falcon and Toontown. So I think that's probably where it's going to go. As to what it will be, I don't know, but I kind of hope it's that. I don't know if you saw the concept art, but remember when they first announced Galaxy's Edge and they had those big, I think they're banthas, and you were able to ride them through the land. I hope we
Oh yeah,
I hope we get that, dude. I hope that's what the third ride ends up being. You load at the station over there and they go around the land and it'd be fun.
that would be really yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Almost like in India where you like ride elephants. Like that'd be pretty cool. And I also hope you get that dinner show restaurant that was originally uh concept in the renderings as well. That'd be pretty awesome too.
That would be pretty cool because Galaxy's Edge, they're making a fortune on like the cantina, and if they add another restaurant with like alcohol, man,
Mm-hmm.
just money in the bank.
Because I think that one as well was gonna have like a stage like for a live show, almost like a medieval times type of thing going on there. Like you eat and there's like a they have to do some kind of like show, either like a lightsaber or something. It sounded really awesome. So I hope they bring that back because that sounded and it also had a lot much more capacity than Oga's does. So that would be able to eat up a lot more people.
Exactly. And maybe if they shut down Star Tours at Disneyland, we can take some of the droids from Star Tours and they can DJ at the new restaurant.
Yes. Then we can have a maybe R2D2 can have a little role in there, like,
Yeah.
like and let's see, and Disney World's version opening up in uh, August. Do they have an expansion pack too, or is theirs just what is there?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure, but Florida has a lot more space than we do, so I'm sure they'll figure it out. And on top of that, the park that Galaxy's Edge is in Florida, Hollywood Studios, there's a lot in that park that's expendable.
Hmm.
It's not like Disneyland where there's a lot of like iconic, like
Hmm.
untouchable stuff. I mean, at Hollywood Studios, a lot of that park, not too many people would be upset if they got rid of it. So I'm sure they'll find room there. They have a lot to work with over there. So
Yeah, definitely. I like how they only have like six or something rides, but they took away the great movie rides, put in Mickey's Runaway Railway. Yet we take away zero rides, and we still get the ride, which I think is kind of funny.
exactly. And it's kind of funny that they're getting rid of a store. That's kind of rare. They're getting
Yeah,
rid
they're
of
getting rid
Gag
of the
Factory.
store, getting rid of some profit for a new experience. Good job, Josh. And then let's see. Oh, and next, speaking of Star Wars, yeah, D23 coming up. We have the Parks and Resorts is on Sunday. It's usually on a Saturday, which is quite interesting. So the fact it's on Sundays pretty cool. And but on Saturday we get more info on the I know something you're looking forward to, the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for this. This is the first time, Star Wars is kind of diving into television, but
Mhm.
television has proven over the years now with like Game of Thrones and even like the Marvel shows on Netflix,
Mhm.
it's movie quality. It's not like, the 80s or back in the day when television was kind of second tier.
Mhm.
Television now is top notch, just like the films. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that show, The Mandalorian. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And Jon Favreau is the showrunner, he's the director of Iron Man, The Lion King, Jungle Book. The dude has a lot of talent, so I have a lot of
Mhm.
faith in this show.
Do you know the what's the the premise or like the synopsis so far? Do you know?
It follows a bounty hunter, and it takes place shortly after Return of the Jedi, and that's
Ah,
yeah. So it takes place shortly after Return of the Jedi, and it's this bounty hunter, and just kind of follow his missions, his adventures. So it has a lot of potential, and that's a time period in the Star Wars timeline that hasn't really been explored that much. Right after that Return of the Jedi era, so it'll
mhm.
be very interesting to see how they handle that.
Yeah, and from the set, the photos that the still photos they show, it looks pretty cool. So I can't wait to check that out as well. Mhm.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
see what else? D20. Hopefully we get some. You still think we get you said a Tomorrowland or Fantasyland kind of confirmation there?
I really hope so, Ethan. I really hope so. I'm getting a little nervous about D23 though, because they keep mentioning Epcot news and they never
They
talk about anything
do.
about us. So I'm afraid we're going to get like another situation like 2 years ago, you know, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do get that Tomorrowland or Fantasyland expansion news. I hope we get more on Marvel Land. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, they got to come through for Disneyland.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, the Disney Parks blog, at least an article saying, stay tuned for transformational Epcot news at D23 specifically. So that's what he was referring to. So hopefully, that's like, just a little segment of it. Or maybe that, if we're lucky, that's all Walt Disney World will have, and then we'll get the rest.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, hey, Anaheim is our home park, so of course we're going to be rooting for the home team. You know.
Yeah, and it's here. The Expo's in Anaheim, so I feel like they should show Anaheim some love. Especially if they want to impress the city council, and get back on good terms. They should show all these great new things that will boost the Anaheim tourism market.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree.
Okay. And then, so let's see, Friday is Disney Legends, and then Saturday, was it just Disney Legends on Friday? What else? Is that the only thing on Friday, or is there multiple things on Friday?
Let's see. Well, the park. Oh, when are they doing the film and animation? Is
That was on Saturday.
that's Saturday?
Yeah, that's part of that whole TV thing.
Yeah. Then Sunday's the parks. Yeah, it must be Friday for the Legends.
Yeah. So Friday's the Legends, and I know there was a list of legends that they said. What were they again? I forgot. I wasn't. I think Robert Downey Jr. is one of them, which I love.
Yeah, Robert Downey, Ming Na, which is the Agent May from Agents of Shield, and she also did the voice of Mulan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so she's nominated, but there was a bunch, but those are the two that top of my head.
Yeah, so, interesting. That's pretty cool. And so the legends and the animation and um, I want you to. Why did they combine them this year? Is it because there's not a lot of like animation movies, or because they're all just movies, so they just combined them?
Maybe they combined them because they needed to fit that streaming panel. Maybe
Oh
something. So
yeah.
maybe they needed to consolidate the film and animation in order to have time to do everything. That's my only guess.
And then for wow, yeah, speaking of Disney Plus comes out coming up kind of soon. It's only what 5 months away. It seemed like they announced it like just last year, a couple years ago, and it's almost ready for launch. And it's still like a really good price of what $6.99 a month or $70 a year, which is definitely way more competitive than Netflix and the other one. So I'm very excited to go check that one out.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. Once it comes out in November, I'm gonna get it. I mean, between the Star Wars stuff like the Mandalorian and the Marvel content, like the Scarlet Witch show and the Loki
Mhm.
show, it's gonna be unbeatable. And for that price, oh man.
Yeah, and what do you think about the live action Lady and the Tramp? From the picture, it looked kind of interesting to me. It looked like one of those movies, one of those old kind of cheap movies that like when they first started doing like learning how to do like the live action dog animal movies where they talk. Look almost like a Garfield type of thing. I don't know, but maybe hopefully it'll be better than it looks. Maybe it'll.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the streaming service is kind of cool in that it opens the door for content like Lady and the Tramp that maybe that wouldn't have gotten a green lit if it had to be released in theaters,
Hmm.
you know. But now that the streaming service is here, they can kind of release more of a second tier kind of movie and have it
Hmm.
done kind of on the cheap and just release it straight to streaming. So it kind of opens the door for a lot of possibilities in regards to that kind of stuff. Because if not for the streaming service, we probably never would have saw live action Lady and the Tramp because it probably wouldn't do that well in theaters, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, for that great price, when you have like so much other content, I'm sure many more people at least check it out, even if it's the first 30 minutes of the movie, and to see if they like it, since they're already paying for the thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And and speaking of the live action shows, they have I think the next one's coming in a live action Snow White is becoming in production, which I think could be really, if they do it really well, could be a pretty big hit.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice, Snow White. And I agree with you. If they do it right, it could be pretty cool. I mean, I hope they go in a darker route.
Hmm.
Because I just feel like Snow White it's kind of a darker story.
Hmm.
But if they go that darker route and they get someone in there that can be a believable Snow White and someone who can make really good music for it and everything, I think it could potentially be a really good remake. Now, the only thing with the Snow White, because of the historical value of it being the first animated film, I
Hmm.
hope they kind of go in a little bit of a different direction with it and not just copy the original.
Hmm.
Um, I hope they kind of give us a different story revolving this character, just because I feel like that the animated film is such a treasure.
Hmm.
They should kind of leave that alone and kind of
Almost
tell
like a
something
like
else.
a Maleficent type of way, where you kind of just, yeah.
Exactly, something like that, where it's like a little bit of a different take on it or a different perspective.
Mhm. But yeah, it definitely should be darker because even the ride is called Snow White's Scary Adventure, so
Yeah.
gotta put some darkness in there. But I'm very excited for the Lion King. Speaking of John Favreau, very excited for the Lion King coming out uh in July. That one looks like almost an exact copy of the original one, but I think that'll be it looks to be, at least from the trailers, looks like it's gonna be pretty good hit.
I'm very excited for The Lion King, and like you said, John Favreau is an excellent director. I mean, everything that I've ever seen him do, whether it be Chef or Jungle Book or Iron Man, the movies have always been really, really good. I mean, he's a very talented guy, so I have no doubt the movie will be fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's probably going to be not the biggest film of the year because Endgame is going to hold that crown for sure, but it'll definitely be, I think, top two or three for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be like I'm guessing it'll be Endgame, Star Wars, and then probably Lion King in the top three for this year.
Yeah, Disney's Iger is just
Yeah, and I
hitting home run
watched
after home run.
exactly. I watched the what's on I don't know if you know her, Grace Randolph, but I guess she's a movie reviewer, and she has a YouTube channel, and every week she does the weekly box office, and then she says a lot of she makes it like a lot of people will show up to the Disney movie, and then the other new releases they don't get a lot of no one sees them, and then everyone goes sees the next new Disney movie, which I think is kind of funny, but yeah, it's really like, yeah, really interesting that everyone will go see the Disney movie, but then anytime something else original comes out, they don't really want to see it. Just interesting take.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you remember Jeffrey Katzenberg. He was head of Walt Disney Animation Studios back in the '90s during the Renaissance era,
Hmm.
and he actually touched upon that. He said people go to the theater specifically to see the next Disney movie. It's the Disney brand is a draw in and of itself, where it almost like supersedes the film. People will see it just because it's Disney, and Disney's one of those brands, one of the very few brands that can get away with that. Like people don't go to the theater just to see the next Paramount movie. They don't really care. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. But people will go, hey, it's the newest Disney animated film. They're there just because it's the Disney name. So it's huge.
Yeah, it definitely helps out a lot, especially with things like Aladdin, where or at least didn't seem like it was looking too good, at least from the people were going to see it, but then now it's a huge success. So I think the Disney brand and also word of mouth helped that one. I'm also very excited to see that one. I think I'm seeing it next week because I love Will Smith. Will Smith, so I think he'll do a pretty decent job. The Gene, did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet, no, but I've heard actually very positive things about it, you know. And actually, I heard Naomi Scott as Jasmine. She kills it. She's amazing in it. So I'm looking
Oh
forward to
yeah,
it.
from the trailer, she looks like she's on point. So you know,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. So, yeah, and then let's see. Oh, and Spider-Man, I saw the latest fresh baked video. The Spider-Man. If you look at the concept art, there's they go through like each piece and what they show there, and the Spider-Man show building, ride building, how it kind of goes like this, and then there's like a gap, and then another gap, and then a big area. Well, they're speculating based on what they see in the concept art that on that big pad area on the second level is where the Quinjet's gonna be parked, and then that little crane thing on the show building is where they project is where again like a because if you look at the concept art it's attached to something, or if you look at the fresh baked instruction videos, it's attached to something via wire. So they think the Spider-Man stuntron I can't stunt the animatronic that does stunts that Disney was testing out. It's gonna like blast off from there and do like a Spider-Man show on top of the show building, which I think will be pretty awesome if that is true.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. I watched Dave's video on that on Fresh Baked yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting theory, and it's not too far fetched. You know, I mean, that crane, like he mentioned in the video, is there for a reason. It's in the concept art.
Hmm.
It's going to be used for some sort of stunt show of some kind.
Hmm.
Um, so whether that be a live person or that animatronic, who knows? But the I think the animatronic would be the better move. That would be very impressive if they can do that.
Yeah, because and then you saw in that video how they're testing it or somewhere like in that parking lot or wherever. You saw how he linked that there, showed that video where the animatronic was doing the flips. I thought that was really pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that if they have something like that in Marvel Land opening, opening day,
Hmm.
like opening with Phase One,
Hmm.
I think that's going to put Marvel Land on the map. Because obviously Galaxy's Edge is going to be the more immersive, crazy
Hmm.
hyper themed area. But if Marvel Land can include some of these cool aspects like the animatronic stuntmen and all that, it'll give Marvel Land something special to kind of boast about, and I think that's what it needs.
Hmm. And I hope that we do what Dave suggested, like with the Quinjet, or like in Galaxy's Edge, I can hear ships taking off. If you can walk through Marvel and just kind of hear the Quinjet taking off randomly or landing, that'd be pretty nice little touch to add from Galaxy's Edge as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, and they're probably going to add a lot of interactivity. They'll probably have something similar to Galaxy's Edge, where you can go onto like an app, and
Hmm.
you can do like missions with like Agents of Shield and
Hmm.
like Iron Man or whatever, and you get like credits or points, and I'm sure they're going to add a lot of that interactivity into the land. That seems to be the future that they're heading into.
Yeah, a lot with the smartphones and technology, which I think is pretty good because it helps like when you're in line too, like it helps take up the time in line by keeping it interactive. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And in that video, he said he still didn't know what the Doctor Strange's areas. For now, there's gonna be a Doctor Strange show. But what do you think? Do you think they're gonna build a replica of the Sanctum area for Doctor Strange, or just have them as a show?
I tend to think it's just going to be the show. But I hope they build his, what's it called? The Sanctum.
Sanctum Sortum or something like
Yeah, something like that. I hope they build it. I think it would look really cool.
that.
Um, but I just don't know where they would put it because they're putting Spider-Man on that one side. They do have
Hmm.
some room on the other side of the land for something. I just don't know if it's big enough to fit something like that. But I don't know. Fingers crossed. I hope they end up building it because I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And someone, I think on the comments somewhere, not on his last video, but a few months ago, I saw someone mentioned the idea if they built that Sanctum Sortum as like a showboating for like a Mystic Manor attraction, but with Doctor Strange. I think that'd be perfect.
Oh my God, that would be epic. That's perfect. If they build like some sort of like Mystic Manor type of attraction themed to Doctor Strange, that would be such a perfect fit for Marvel Land. It would add a really immersive dark ride to California Adventure, which it needs so badly.
Hmm.
That would be fantastic. They really should. They should spend the money and do something big like that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. In fact, if they take out I mean, I don't know how popular the Hyperion Theater is, but I feel like that'd be perfect. The Hyperion Theater spot would be a perfect spot for that. Very big. They can didn't have to do anything they just have to demolish the interior and just kind of theme the outside to the Sanctum Sword and just put the Mystic Manor ride system in there. So I think that'd be pretty perfect. I don't know how popular it is. I don't think people would cry too much if that would disappear.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think the Frozen stage show has really caught on like the Aladdin one. I think mostly because the Aladdin show had a genie and it was kind of different every time you went there because the jokes were always different. It kept it fresh.
Hmm.
But with Frozen, it's not the case. It's more of a set show.
Hmm.
Um, and I think people sort of have like a bad taste in their mouth with Frozen, some fans, because they feel Disney overhyped it. And
Hmm.
that might change when Frozen 2 comes out. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that people would cry if we lost the Frozen stage show at all. I think it's fun. I like it, but I just don't think it's really that big with fans.
Hmm. And the last thing here is people are as Disney seems to be bringing things back to California Adventure. That'd be so funny if they brought the Aladdin stage show back to promote the Aladdin movie.
That would be great. They should do DCA 1.0 Fest and
They
just
should.
and just
They have
bring in a bunch.
California there. They have that means they can bring back Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah, bring back Muppet Vision, it'd be great. Bring back the Eureka Parade.
Oh
There's a lot.
yeah. Then have you been on or which one do you prefer, California or the world version of Soarin'?
I like both, but this past weekend I went on California Soarin', the classic, and it can't be beat. It's great with the oranges, the smell. You smell like the salt water and the pine trees. It's awesome. It's funny. My sister got us. My sister is a Club 33 member, and she
Oh,
got us. Yeah, and she got us a guide for one of the days. We had like a guide,
hmm.
and the guide was telling us that they're considering having if California Soarin' is popular right now in this limited run, they're
Hmm.
considering doing
Like a half.
California and World, yeah, like in each theater.
Thank goodness, because I don't know how many people on YouTube and Twitter kept calling for that. So that'll be perfect if they, because that's best of both worlds. Like, put whoever likes the world, go to the right, whoever likes California, go to the left. I personally think California is my favorite because I just love the state of California, and it's so flying over all the sights and flying over LA at the end. It's pretty cool. And yeah, the smells and the oranges, the world's cool, but also the isn't the world version like CGI, but the California version's like actually filmed.
Yeah, there's a lot of CGI in the World version because I think a lot of those animals, like the elephants and stuff, they were all added in there later.
Mm.
So I mean, it's really good CGI. It looks realistic, but yeah, California Soarin' is the better version. And if they give you the option to do either one, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, because that way it'll please everybody. So Disney, listen to us. Keep California and put World in the right theater.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Well, it's great talking to you.
Well, thank you for
And
having me on, Ethan. It's always a pleasure. You're a friend of the channel, and if you ever want to be on my channel, let me know, and we'll do another collabo.
yes, anytime. Anytime. Oh, and don't forget to check us out, listeners, on the Grand Circle Tour podcast. I don't know when he said it was coming out, but
It'll drop. He actually texted me like a few minutes before we went on the air.
oh
He,
wow.
he said it'll drop today. So
Oh,
today's
awesome.
Friday.
So
Yeah.
look on both of our Twitters at OrangeGrove55 and at Theme_Wizard for the link to that big podcast with our great new friend Christian Milan all about Galaxy's Edge.
Well, thanks, Ethan. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, bye bye.
Take care.